What's up, everybody? Shauna D-Man here, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great day. We are back with another brand new video here on the channel, and we're going to be talking about some VTubing. Because over on Twitter, as Twitter does, and I guess technically what most social media does, is there is a uproar. Obviously, one of the main things is AI. That's a whole topic in of itself. Particularly, there are people who are big mad at Leaflit. Leaflit is a VTuber. I watch her stuff all the time. I think she's an outstanding VTuber. Um, but it just seems like people it definitely just feels like people hate on her just to hate. We're gonna look at some Twitter stuff primarily, because there's been people commenting and stuff like that, talking about this new kind of like, not, I guess I wouldn't say budget. She has a video, I think she where she'll explain it, but she talks about like a budget VTubing generator for people who want to get into VTubing. Now here's the thing, because when it comes to AI, you have people who are who virtual signal. Um, a lot of these people don't like AI because they feel as if it takes away from, actual artists, that kind of thing. Um, where, okay, sure, you could make that case um, for something like that, because you'll see people online talk about, like, if you use AI or, for your thumbnails, whatever, they essentially virtual signal. If you remember a couple of months ago, when Neverness to Everness came out, there was this whole uproar from Iron Mouse talking about how it had was it generative AI, where I think they used AI to just like add some small stuff into the final product of the game, even though the game had actual people working on it. But because they use like a small bit of AI to like do some touch ups or things like that, it caused an uproar, and I found it to be like really ridiculous. I mean, and here's the thing too: if you're a small content creator and you're starting out and stuff like that, you don't have the money, or if you want to even be a VTuber. Now, I'm sure there's like some place from a VTubing aspect where you could find relatively cheap models and stuff like that. But typically, if you are a starting out person, you don't have money to like hire an artist to do thumbnails or artwork, that kind of stuff. That is relatively expensive. Although there are free things like Canva. Canva is a pretty good, useful tool for those who are starting out. Like for YouTube, for instance, where you can make thumbnails. They may not be as impressive, because I've used Canva before, and while it is good, there's just it doesn't hold the weight compared to what you see with a lot of these more professional thumbnails and stuff like that. But mainly what I wanted to do today is just go over some of this, um, and we'll just have a chill little video and talk about some of this drama. So let me pull it up. So this is what. All right. So this is Leaflet. She, like I said, she is a outstanding VTuber. She has her own tabletop role playing game. So she's very. I like her. I think she's a fun VTuber. Like, I watch a lot of her stuff. She's pretty cool. So anyway, so she started this out. This was last Friday, I believe, is when this happened. Let me see. Yeah, no, actually last Thursday. I didn't realize it'd been, yeah. So last Thursday is when this happened. So she made a post talking about budget VTuber system update, and I'll also show you how to make a model in real time. So we may not watch all of this because it is like 33. It's like 30 minutes. Um, but she's just going to be talking about how she makes this and does that. That way, people who want to use it, they'll know how to make it. So we'll watch a couple of minutes of this.
Hey guys, Leaf here. I have an update. I was working on the project for a little bit today. Anyway, uh the big things are there are a couple of new
Oops,
features
sorry.
I added. One of them was a little bit of smoothing, animation smoothing, so it pops a little bit now. It has a little intentional like jump that makes the animation switches feel a little bit more intentional. And I think it helps a little bit. And it also added a little bit of
Now she has been showing this off on some of her recent streams. You can watch her on Rumble and Rumble Kick and Twitch. She had been showing off like some of this during previous streams.
voice detection. I changed like how it detects so that it doesn't just cut out right away, like when you're speaking. Because when people speak, they usually talk in bursts. At least I do. Some people also do that, so it doesn't just automatically cut off if you wait like a couple like milliseconds between your next word. Anyway, so I did that, and then some other things I did was a little bit of smoothing for the emotions. So there's a little bit of changes there when going between emotions and stuff like that. Another thing I added was I added randomization. So now you can have uh, multiple lead-in emotes and multiple outro emotes, so that you can run a random emote system where, say you wanted to. I mean, here in this case, I'll transmute my gun.
See, that's pretty cool. See, and that's the stuff that she's been doing. Like, she has been like, she's probably not the only one, but the one that I know of, has been very much uh um on leading the front in what you can do with AI. Like, she has several different videos. Uh, I don't think we watched one. There's one, she didn't make it, but somebody else made it. Where it's like her and Powder fighting each other. Like, there's been like so many cool stuff that has been made with AI. Um, and Leaflet is like, one of the people in the forefront of like being innovative about this.
What I can do now is the the outro for it, like the switching back to the original state and switching into the gun state, can have a random animation. So here's like an outro. She drops the gun. So drops the gun and then transmute another one. And it's random, so it could play the same one multiple times, but here's another one. See, it plays like a completely different one.
Oh, okay.
And oh, another thing, I added a little bit of fade to the outer box, so you don't have like that square box effect anymore. Where it kind of looks like something's just hard cut off on a rectangle. So I changed that as well. But I did that in the editor. So you can choose to have an effect actually go all the way to the edge, which is useful if you're walking off screen or you're doing something like that. Also, the bleed doesn't occur on the bottom because the bottom's cut off anyway. So we didn't do that there. Let's see if we can get the other animation here for the transmute. Again, it's random, so
Oh, she's okay. So it just drops it.
wow, really unlucky. Holy crap.
Oh, she drops it.
Oh, jeez.
There's one where she drops it. There's one where she throws it. Yep, the one she throws it away.
Okay, the outro one's working, but oh, there we go. Finally.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is actually really, really cool.
And then, we've got our... Oh, another thing I added was a little bit of smoke reduction. So I fixed the way the algorithm handles smoke. So it has a little bit of an effect on reducing like the chroma key color on the smoke, but it's still not perfect. But it's like the best I could get to add a little bit of gray color, so it's not like a bright color. And you can see that on the outer edges, the smoke kind of dissipates. It doesn't just hard cut off on the rectangle.
Oh wow, we're only about 5 minutes into this. But yeah, so that's pretty much what and she just goes through here and shows off how to make it and everything. Like obviously you guys can go and watch it, yourselves and everything if you want to learn how to do that. I've already know about some of this because, like I mentioned, she did do some of this during her streams the past week or so, and so I have actually already seen a lot of this. But yeah, it's been pretty cool to see what Leaflet can do with this kind of stuff. And like, I mean, with AI, anybody can do this kind of stuff, which is why you see like these businesses buying up RAM and saying there's a shortage. There's not really a shortage. It's just when people are gonna have with AI, people are gonna have their own ability to do whatever they want. If they want to make a movie of Godzilla fighting Superman that looks better than what Hollywood puts out, people can do that. We've already seen some aspects of that in that regard. So mainly what I wanted to do is just go through the comments about this. And you see a lot of people are very much positive. The way you explained it made it seem so simple. I look forward to using it myself when you release it. Let's see. Trying to find. But yeah, like as you can see, a lot of people are very much pretty much like it. Uh, let's see. I think I can find one. I guess we probably would have to go to the quotes. Yeah. So okay, so here's one. I hate this. There are hundreds of free VTuber models and assets out there made by artists. You do not need AI to be an avatar. What are the comments are saying about this? The Paladin is AI. Uh, yeah. Yeah, there's been like when I mentioned how like there's like this virtual signal kind of guilt trip thing. This is like kind of what I'm talking about. This person said, just FYI, Leaf said this isn't meant to replace Live 2D, but to bridge PNG and Live 2D. And then the person said, this isn't about Live 2D, but VTubing as a whole. If you use AI, it just shows you don't care about what VTubing is. I disagree. Whatever tools can help speed up the process to create a fully customized model should be exploited. I am creating my model from scratch based on my PFP, and even after 7 months, I still haven't completed all the layers. The time burning is too large. And yeah, there are some cases where when people who maybe like order a VTuber model, it takes months to even get that done. I think Kirsha even mentioned it in one of her streams a couple of months ago how she ordered a VTuber model and like she paid for it and everything. Like it was like pretty expensive and she paid for it and everything. And I don't know if she ever got the VTuber model. Like the person just kept putting it off and off and off. So that is, and yeah, it is what it is. So that's one person who's not liking this. As a VTuber who started with $0 budget, I think you are pathetic. Yeah, so If you need AI slop in your VTuber space, you're nothing but an embarrassment. Uh, yeah, and see, and it's like you don't have to like. Okay, I don't know. It's just uh, yeah, that's just kind of it's just like the way I'm reading this. No, this is gross and literally a slap in the face of artists everywhere who make customizable models. So that's cheap pre-made models to use. If I see any of my mutuals using this, I'm blocking you. Again, this is just virtue signaling, in my opinion. Just the way they're reacting and stuff like that. And here's the thing that these type of people don't understand, or just generally that they don't understand. And then I think there's a tweet that we'll go to that I made about it here in a bit. I'll share that for now. Let's see. Or I'll share it in a second. FU and FGen AI. This is the spin in the face of all the artists that built the community that you are supposed to be a part of. Again, it's just meh. Like you don't like. Okay, it doesn't. You don't have to use it. You don't have to use it. If somebody offers a different alternative for something for somebody to use something, then that person has the right to decide whether or not they want to use that alternative motive. It's not a big deal. In light of this decision, I've made my customizable will be 30 US. I get $30. I was already going to price it low for the market, but I want to show new VTubers that you can make it in this community without even $100. This is pitiful. Not gonna lie. Oh, Madam Savvy. Oh, this was just about 30 minutes ago. You make it by having a personality. No amount of art or AI gen is going to matter if your personality is crap. But you might as well make it free if you're going to be a moron like that, because there are free assets, websites, free model templates, and basic easy programs, all free. You should stick to charging what you want to charge based on your skill and how you value yourself. If you attach it to something like this, you might think it's good marketing, but people who are anti-AI don't really give a crap about actually supporting you. Y'all are dealing with karma up what's that, up dot farming essentially. Um, you don't like it, but instead of just talking to talk, you walk the walk and compete with the offering. Yeah, I price expect that. Call that pitiful. Was uncalled for what it is an absolutely reasonable take. Otherwise, but it's fine. Okay. To every artist who has and also attempted to scam me in the past 12 months, if you and there is, and I mean, let's also be clear here. There are occasions where a lot of people get scammed by AI by artists. Like there, I'm sure that happens. I don't know what the frequent amount of it is, but I'm sure it does happen. You spend millions of dollars, I'm sorry, not millions of dollars, but like hundreds of thousands of dollars on a VTuber model, and a lot of times you might get ghosted. Not a lot of times, but there's a good chance you could get ghosted. So why waste that money? So I think again, I don't think there's nothing wrong with presenting people with a alternative thing. There's nothing wrong with that. And so uh Mizuki, now for so this was Thursday. Now for the dozens that always talk to me about saying how they wanted to start a channel with an avatar, there's no excuse anymore. Which in fact, let me go to hers because that brings up what else did she say? Oh yeah, we got that require. Okay, so this is that post we just read. No, no, this is actually new. Honestly, you are using AI exposes your lack of impetus about how you don't use words when you don't know what they mean. Unlike you, we spend hours upon hours building our brand without the use of theft for AI. You sit there and use AI if it takes some form of skill. Maybe instead of being a lazy bum, care about artists and commission them. There's tons of free and cheap options for VTubing, but lack of money or skill is not an excuse. All right, so Mizuki said that requires a lot of skill. It's just a lot different of drawing. You know that, but of course, got a virtual signal to show that you are in the correct side of things. You should still, and even there's Diane, is you can still use it while drawing as well, but of course, you know that too. AI is here to stay, and no amount of whining and virtual signaling will make it go away. Stop harassing people who use it. Adapting and acceptance is better for your mental health. And so let me see if I can find the one. Oh wait, no, I went too far. Let me go back up to hers. Let me find what I said. I'm trying to remember where she said it too. No. Uh, yeah. Oh, yeah, here it is. So she said, Mizuki said, evolve or be buried in the past. Art will not disappear, just change. People will keep demanding for it, but now you have a choice if you can't pay for it. People will still want to learn to draw. That will not change, but if you insist on not using AI or at least saying that you don't use it, but using it in secret to speed up stuff, you end up with a bigger prices than others and slower delivery time, which if you are not really outstanding in what you do, is absurd, doing absurd levels, will take you out of the market. Stay in the past or open up to the future. This isn't even something about if we agree with it or not. It's happening. You have no choice. I mean, you do, but it shouldn't be an obvious one. And so then, I believe it was here I said it. Let me find it. Yeah, I basically all I said was this is like watching cavemen refuse to use the wheel or even the fire. You either adapt and evolve, or you'll be left behind, and that is basically the case here. That is the overall thing when it comes to AI. Is AI is not going anywhere. It is here to stay. You can either learn to use it and benefit yourself, or you're going to be left behind. And just like Mizuki said up here, where you have it to where if you decide, like if you're somebody who decides not to use AI, well, guess what? Let's say I come to you and I want, let's say I want a VTuber model, okay? Something simple, nothing too crazy. And you tell me, okay, and I give you the design and everything like that. Okay, and you tell me, okay, it's going to take about, let's say, 6 months plus this amount of money to do it, or I can go to this free alternative that number one is free and have it, and I can relatively have it done by the end of the week or even 2 weeks. Which one, from a cost perspective, benefits the customer? Like, you can get mad that the artist isn't going to get the commission, but at the end of the day, we are in a capitalistic society. The consumer has the choice of where they spend their money. So it is just an interesting facet to just watch how people are just acting with this. But even anyway, but you have Diana's. She was here. What a cool. She's also a very cool VTuber. What a cool tool, not just for new creators, but also as an option for established VTubers who travel. I personally know I don't have a laptop that can run my rig plus stream, but this looks to be a lot of less resource and equipment and incentive. Keying. This is incredible cool. I've already talked about how exciting this is. The amount of legacy art is absolutely seizing over this is next level. I'd make a rigor joke, but most of the people mad probably don't even do anything. And remember, you can just do things. This person here, it pains me to see the amount of people pushing or praising the use of Gen AI and saying they want to use stuff like this for VTubing. You're destroying the very people that built the community to begin with. I started with a free model, then a $30 customizable one. Okay, that is you. If you want to do that, that is your choice. Doesn't have to be everybody's choice. Not everybody has to do the same thing that you did. And that is the thing that a lot of, from what I'm reading these comments, a lot of these people aren't understanding is everybody can choose for themselves on what they want to do, not only with their time, but with their money. If somebody wants to use Gen AI for a VTuber model, that is their choice. They can choose that. So just like it's just a lot of it. It's just virtue signaling. A lot of it has to put on the facade of showing, hey, we're on the same side essentially, or that kind of thing. Um, Being anti AI is fine, but why would any up and coming VTuber want to use an artist if all they do is rage and quit and attack anyone who says AI is fine or that they like this program? If using AI as a VTuber is wrong, then what about Neurosama, the AI VTuber? I've never seen rage over that. Yeah. So I mean, first of all, really ugly. Even the simplest MVC looks nicer than this. Second, budget, not free. There's a lot of customizable models and free assets around. Just stop making excuses saying that we are gatekeeping VTubing and admit that you're just crazy or just lazy. Like, it's just ridiculous the way these people are acting. If you support this, don't follow me right now. There are so many free options that, and I myself have been donated customizable models from kind people to start as a VTuber model. You don't need this AR garbage. Size man, what is it? Man, it looks like I don't know what that word is. I think she's maybe saying cis. I could be wrong about that. But uh, slop tuber system because my models are already budget. At least they are made by humans and don't look like. Again, this says a budget VTuber system. So you can just tell from the QRT how heavily they want to gatekeep this community. Not very inclusive guys. And there is a lot of like, I do see that. I do see a lot of people trying to gatekeep the VTuber community, even though some of the people who are gatekeeping are people who kind of infiltrated VTubing in years ago. So it's just kind of like, what are we doing here? 30 whole minutes of shameless use of AI in the VTuber space makes me sick. Okay, you don't have to use it. Former League of Legends game designer, ladies and gentlemen, this is so pathetic. Not even funny. Again, you don't have to use it. Um, see, you can use AI to steal art and rehash it into a VTuber model, or you can focus on things that matter. I'm still using a crappy pixel model I drew and rigged myself 4 years ago. But I have built a community by focusing on content. Your model doesn't matter, your actions do. Okay, I think that's a reasonable take. And Savvy mentioned it as well. Your person, who you are, your personality, the content you make are going to matter a lot more than whatever VTuber model you come up with. And like, I think that's fair. You know, look, I'm all for trying to do VTubing on a budget, but why AI? There is hundreds of custom models. And just this is just sad. Again, it's just really ridiculous watching, um, just watching this. Like again, like I said, a lot of this is virtue signaling. Where is it? Okay, this was interesting. Um, oh, I think they limited their post. What a bunch of they must have got ratioed. Oh, wait, maybe this is it. Yeah, they got rid of their post. Never mind. I can't remember what it was. I did see this, but Leaflet said your car is insulting to horse breeders and horse caretakers and stable makers, as transportation has always involved real animals, husbandry raising real animals, and not disgusting mechanical slop cars. This was this. I wish this person didn't delete, but they did. Um, so this person said more AI in the VTuber space, a big slap in the face to customizable models. Okay, and then I guess down here I put a commission request. PG. Okay, I cannot read that. That is so small. Um, What else was it? Yeah, the reason people are so militant anti-AI is because it brutally exposes their lack of impetus. No more excuses. The walls come crashing down. One is forced to face the monster of their own inaction and lack of drive. You can see when they go mask off that it's all about maintaining the keys to the kingdom. Because AI removes any meaning or value to the talent or to talent, it put the most talented and talentless people on equal footing regarding the result. It put the most talented and talented people. Yeah. So I guess what's a good way to describe it? Think of it like college football. This is maybe a somewhat decent example. Think of college football. Think of how decades the SEC dominated college football. By SEC, I primarily mean like Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Auburn here and there, Florida here and there, so on and so. Yeah, they won like what 10, 10 plus national titles when it came to SEC. But now the playing field has been leveled because one of the things about the SEC was they would hoard basically all the talent. Now there were still some schools that would get talented players, but the SEC was the king, and it showed in the NF draft and things like that that they were getting all the best players. Well, guess what? When NIL and the transfer portal came around, it basically evened the playing field to the point where the SEC has not even been in the national title championship game for over the past 3 years. But you know who has won national titles the past 3 years? Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana. Three Big Ten teams in a row um, have won national titles. The NIL and transfer portal made it to where the best teams couldn't hoard all the talent. No more were the days where Alabama could have three, a starting lineup of 5 stars, their second team full of 5 stars, and then their third team full of 5 stars. That doesn't happen anymore. The wealth of talent of players is now accessible to everybody else because of some changes. That is essentially what is happening here with this budgeting VTubing system that Leaflit is, making and things like that. Like it says here, it put the most talented and talentless people on equal footing. They no longer have the talented people no longer have that advantage of being able to, let's say, set a market price. Oh, you want a VTuber model? Well, that's going to be $1,000 to make this particular kind of custom model. Oh, $1,000, you say? Well, I could just go to this budget AI system and have it make me a VTuber model for a fraction of the cost or free at all. And so it's as technology progresses, this is the kind of stuff that's going to happen. People have a lot more flexibility to choose things that they couldn't before. The same people who complain it's theft are the same people who demand access to other people's money for their own welfare. Basically, it's all such a joke, and the only consistency is the inconsistency of their beliefs. Um, so yeah, it's just yeah. So it's and I'm all for it. I'm all for again, but it's pretty wild that this is just how things been going. But like I said, but at the end of the day, you can choose whether or not if you want to use it. Nobody's forcing you to choose between paying an artist or using Leaflet's budget system. Nobody's making you pick one or the other. If you want to, I mean, you could probably do both if you wanted to, honestly. But you have the option. You have the option to choose what you want, what's best for yourself. So It's a wild thing. Like I said, AI is here to stay. I see a lot of people always talk about how, oh, I hate AI and this and that, and it's just like, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. Like we continuously evolve as humans. We went from horse-drawn carriages that may take you like 3 to 4 days to go from one state to another, to the ability of driving cars that can get you there maybe within 3 to 4 hours, depending on where you live. So technology has always progressed to make things easier and better for people. This is just another step in that direction. So, but yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. So I wanted to just do a little bit dive into this whole thing. If you are new to the channel, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure you comment below. Tell me what are your thoughts on AI? Are you a fan of it? Are you not? Definitely want to hear your thoughts. But other than that, guys, thank you for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.